In April 2026, Anthropic revealed Claude Mythos, a model built for one highly specific task: defending computer networks from attack. This shows the gap in its capability. In 7 weeks, Mythos autonomously discovered more than 2,000 zero-day software vulnerabilities, deep, hidden flaws that the best human security researchers had missed for decades. Elite human teams might find a handful of these in a year. Anthropic kept this model out of the public's hands. Instead, CEO Dario Amodei and his team restricted its use to a program called Project Glasswing, sharing it only with a tight circle of security partners. The restriction exists because of a cold mathematical reality. An identical algorithmic pathway is used to either scan a network for a flaw to patch it, or to locate that same flaw for a targeted exploit. Anthropic proved that the most sophisticated defense ever built is, by its very design, a weapon. This dual-use intelligence, the ability to map and navigate a complex environment to find its weak points, is moving from software code into our physical and social lives. Right now, human movement is being tracked at scale. Smart city infrastructure, mobile location data, health monitors, and digital payment systems are continuously recording every transaction and interaction we have. We participate in this monitoring because it offers a frictionless life. We get real-time navigation, personalized health alerts, and instant fraud protection. To maintain that level of convenience, the largest technology companies in the world have built their empires around the continuous harvesting of this data. In the pursuit of a perfectly safe and convenient society, we are generating the exact architecture required to monitor and manage it. Historically, surveillance was targeted and reactionary. If a state wanted to watch someone, they had to identify a specific suspect and then begin the labor-intensive process of gathering evidence. This analog approach was limited by cost and human biology. It required investigators to manually follow, record, and sift through individual paper trails. AI removes those constraints. By operating invisibly through the devices we already carry, automated systems can process billions of patterns simultaneously without fatigue. This visual map shows the shift in scale. We have moved from investigating suspects to monitoring entire populations. Because systems learn from massive datasets, they stop reacting to past events. Instead, they assign risk based on algorithmic assumptions of what they might do next. When we automate these assumptions, the presumption of innocence begins to fade. The free citizen is replaced by a permanent data profile. This shift is a central theme in the Malayalam thriller Patriot. Mahmoodi plays an individual whose life is systematically picked apart by an expansive, hidden tracking network. The film highlights a recurring fear that a tracking system built to defend a nation will eventually be used by those in power to identify and silence their own citizens. History shows this fear is grounded in reality. The disclosure of mass domestic surveillance programs by Edward Snowden revealed how easily state tools expand to target journalists and activists. This is where the Mythos breakthrough becomes a social warning. Mythos isn't taught specific exploits. It learns how to navigate the logic of a complex system to find its vulnerabilities. Since our society now runs on data, our behaviors, from our debts to our social circles, form a similar logic. For frontier AI, a person's financial desperation or political anger is just another variable to be mapped and eventually targeted. An algorithm that understands these triggers can manipulate public behavior as effectively as it exploits a software bug. Even if the current designers are well-intentioned, they are creating a permanent infrastructure of control. Human liberty faces a single point of failure if administrative access ever shifts to a more predatory regime. The most significant phase of this transition occurs when we move from simply observing data to letting algorithms make final, automated decisions about our lives. We see this override in sensitive human domains every day, from AI screening job applications and determining welfare benefits to systems that drive predictive policing. This represents a fundamental gap in reasoning. AI optimizes for mathematical probability, but lacks capacity to understand human dignity. When we remove human review, we create a societal black box. Complex lives are flattened into a binary risk score, and accountability disappears. We are trading away the power to explain why decisions are made, replacing human authority with automated management. Even without a direct penalty, constant tracking changes how we act. This is the chilling effect. When people know they are being scored, they begin to self-censor, avoiding debate or protest just to keep their data profile clean. We are building a beautiful wall. It is a digital architecture designed for safety and ease, but it lacks the doors and windows required to sustain a free society. To prevent this wall from becoming a prison, we need enforceable legal frameworks. That means strict data minimization, mandatory human oversight, and absolute transparency in how these algorithms are used. We must also protect the right of the citizen to exist offline. A person should be able to travel, transact, and participate in society without being forced to leave a digital footprint. Technology has the power to protect humanity, but it must never be given the power to own humanity.